Hello everyone, my name is Kasim Lupao and I am one of the expert IELTS trainers here at Reledge International. Welcome to our video lesson today where we are going to learn more about advantages and disadvantages questions. In our lesson today, we are going to define what advantages and disadvantages questions are, and secondly, we are going to look at or to learn more about how to structure this type of essays. What are advantages and disadvantages questions? These questions normally give you a statement and ask you to comment on the advantages and disadvantages of that statement. There are three different types of advantages and disadvantages essay, and they each require a different approach. If you answer them in a different way, then you risk losing lots of easy marks. The first type, the question will go like this. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages. Introduction paragraph should have two sentences. Sentence number 1, paraphrase the question. Sentence number 2, outline sentence where you briefly outline the advantages and disadvantages. Body paragraph 1, you begin with advantages. Sentence number 1, you state the first advantage. Sentence number 2, you explain how this is an advantage. Sentence number 3, you give or state a relevant example. Sentence number 4, state the second advantage. Sentence number 5, explain why this is an advantage. And sentence number 3, you state a relevant example. Body paragraph 2, you discuss the disadvantages. Sentence number 1, you state your disadvantage. Sentence number 2, you explain how this is a disadvantage. And sentence number 3, you state a relevant example. Finally, the conclusion paragraph, you only need one sentence to give a summary of your main points. Something to take note is that it is not a must to write two advantages and one disadvantage. So you can write two in each case. So what matters more is your explanation. Second type of a question will go like this. Do the advantages of these outweigh the disadvantages? Introduction paragraph must have three sentences. Sentence number 1, paraphrase the question. Sentence number 2 is a thesis statement where you state which side outweighs the other. And sentence number 3, you briefly state the advantages and disadvantages. Body paragraph 1, you discuss the stronger side. And I want to emphasize that the stronger side can either be an advantage or a disadvantage. Or the stronger side can be the side of advantages or the side of disadvantages. Any side, either side can be a stronger side. Sentence number 1 is a topic sentence whereby you state your first strong point. Sentence number 2, you explain why it is strong. Sentence number 3, you state a relevant example. Sentence number 4, you state your second strong point. Sentence number 5, you explain why it is strong. And sentence number 6, you give or state a relevant example to your second strong point. Body paragraph 2, the weaker side. So remember that the weaker side should have less points. So if you have two supporting points in your strong side, then you must have one supporting point in the weaker side. So the weaker side, sentence number 1 is a topic sentence where you state the weak point. Sentence number 2, you explain why it is not strong. And sentence number 3, you state a relevant example. Finally, the conclusion paragraph, you only need one sentence to summarize your main points. The third and last type of question, or the third one, is discuss the advantages and the disadvantages and give your own opinion. Introduction paragraph, you need 3 sentences. Sentence number 1, paraphrase the question. Sentence number 2, you state your opinion. Sentence number 3, you briefly state the advantages and disadvantages. Main body paragraph 1, you state the advantages. Sentence number 1, you need a topic sentence. Basically, you state your advantage. Sentence number 2, you explain why this is an advantage. And sentence number 3, you state a relevant example. Main body paragraph 2, you explain the disadvantages. Sentence number 1 is a topic sentence where you state your disadvantage, and sentence number 2, you explain why this is a disadvantage, and sentence number 3, you state a relevant example. Sometimes what you can do is, for this type of questions, you can have an extra body paragraph where you explain your opinion. So again, your third body paragraph will have 3 sentences. You state your opinion, you explain it, and you state a relevant example before you come to the conclusion, where now you only need 1 sentence to summarize your main points and state your opinion. Thank you. That is the end of our lesson today. I look forward to seeing you again in our subsequent lessons.